All right, what is up? Welcome. We are doing simplifying fat loss, quick training tonight. So we're going to do 20, 30 minutes of the recorded version, and then we're going to get into the answers for the people who are here if they have any particular questions. But I got a little presentation, which is a little fancier than what I normally do, and I'm pretty excited about it. So let me share my screen, and then we can just get rolling right away. And then I just have to remember how to share my screen because it's been a minute on here too. All right, here we go. Yeah, this is it. And then I got to move everything around so you guys can see it. Awesome. Well, first of all, just thank you guys for coming. And if you're watching the replay, thank you guys for watching the replay. I do not take your attention lightly. If you guys choose to be here tonight or watch this and dedicate a little bit of time, I do not overlook that. I really appreciate it because a little bit about me, I struggled for about a decade. So my name is Ryan, and I was a personal trainer in the fitness field, and I struggled with diet and nutrition for as long as I can remember. And it kind of comes back to these basic things over and over. So the goal of tonight's presentation is literally to just simplify fat loss. So how can we make it easier and easier and easier, and make it so simple you feel silly not doing it? That's always my goal. I never want to overcomplicate things and talk about metabolism and hormones and gut health because all those things matter. But if you're not doing these things tonight that we're going to talk about, you're going to struggle. It's going to be more challenging. So let's get into it a little bit. All right, let Molly in. Ooh, that's kind of neat little transition. All right, so the obvious, to lose fat, you need to be in a calorie deficit. All right, so am I like shattering the earth with that news by anybody tonight? Is that like, no, there's other ways? Or are we good on that? Can we all agree that to lose fat, you need to be in a calorie deficit? You can lose weight by pooping, dehydrating yourself, cutting off your leg, or by going to the moon. You can change your gravitational pull. But to lose fat on your body composition, we need to be in a calorie deficit. But what happens when your body adapts to things like, exercising all the time at a very high level or, eating very low calorie? Then that's when things get a little bit harder. So this is what it all comes back to, is making sure you're doing these foundational habits. As you can see, I chose this image for a reason. That's an image with a poor foundation. It's going to crumble. It's going to collapse. We need to look at all these habits that we're talking about tonight as behaviors and skills to be a foundational habit and behavior. So when the storms coming through and the tsunamis and the hurricanes and hitting and the kids get back into school, or the kids are on summer vacation and life's harder and your schedule picks up, you still have your foundational habits, your non-negotiables of the things that you're going to do day in and day out that are healthy behaviors that set you up to just be a healthy body. All right, so let's get into that a little bit. So the foundations of fat loss, I always called it. These are things that I truly believe you need to have on lock. And when I say on lock, they should just be conscious at some point. You should get used to doing them consistently. And then they should be just behaviors where it's simple to do it. Okay. So being hydrated. Real basic recommendations: half your body weight in ounces. So if you weigh 200 pounds, drink 100 ounces of water. I personally drink a gallon of water every day because I'm a sweaty person. I break a sweat every day, and I just found myself when I drink 100, sometimes I still am dehydrated. My urine is bright yellow. All right. You want a lightly tinted yellow urine. All right. So that's how you know you're hydrated. Again, your body adapts to it. So if you're consistently under consuming water or not getting enough water, your body will get more and more efficient like that. But if you just slowly work that way up to being fully hydrated, feeling really good, your body functions come out, your body's in a less stressed state, and everything is easier. Do you sleep enough? I'm not going to be here and heartbeat like you need to get 8 hours of sleep, because I have two kids and sometimes they co-sleep and I do not get that. And I would be, like, I would love 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep, but I haven't gotten that in 4 years. I don't see myself getting that in the next 4 to 5 years. So sleep is important. So are you sleeping enough? Are you, at least spending time in bed? Are you at least giving yourself that time to potentially recover? And when I say, like, I can't guarantee what's going to happen between like 9 p.m. and 5 a.m. with as far as like kids or situations or life or alarms or weather. But I can tell you, I'm going to be in bed for 8 hours. Like, that's my non-negotiable for myself. Um, and I know everybody's got schedules and things and kids and whatnot. So I'm just asking, are you sleeping enough? That should be a foundational habit. Are you exercising to be healthy? This is a hard one for a lot of people. A lot of people are exercising to lose weight. I want you guys to get away from the mindset of exercising to burn calories, because really, really hard truth is when you exercise to burn calories, you're going to get more and more efficient at burning calories. If I went and ran a mile today and I was really out of shape, I might burn 600 calories. Well, tomorrow, if I run that same mile, I might do it in 559 calories and then 500 calories and then like 400 calories. Your body gets more and more efficient based off of its demand. So if you're consistently doing that and pushing it, you have to consistently overload that body to get different results. And when you start doing that to burn more calories or to be more efficient or like that, you're probably going to max out your body before your body composition looks the way you want. So exercise to be healthy, move to be healthy, get stronger to have muscle. Muscle is one of the coolest things in the world as far as insulin sensitivity and body regulations and hormone health and confidence. I've never seen anybody that could like pick up a fridge, not be confident around people doing, like doing things. So get think about exercise like how you're going to build confidence. Because also when you exercise, you do have dopamine, you do have serotonin releases, you do have these feel good hormones. So do it to be healthy and happy. Don't do it for an end result. It's like a hard one, but mental shifts. Eat enough eat enough protein to preserve the muscle or build some. So we have minimal amounts of protein that we need to put in our diet. Another reason that we push protein so much is because if you're overeating protein, you're probably not overeating other things. All right. Just to be 100% honest with you and transparent, when you're eating enough protein, yeah, you're giving the body a signal to preserve muscle, which is great. You're also being very satiated and full. It's easier to like, hit calories if that's the goal, or, stay in a calorie deficit. And it does make calorie deficits easier to attain. But the main reason is if you're eating enough protein and you're probably not overeating other things. Same thing with fiber. Fiber helps with regular bowel movements and helps you feel full. It's got a good leptin response and for healthy gut. So eating enough protein, eating enough fiber, and you can't be sedentary. All right, this is personal to you. So if you don't move and you put on a step tracker, you could put on a step tracker and see, hey, I normally get 2,000 steps a day. So that's not a lot of movement, just to be, again, sorry to slap you guys in the face or call some of you guys out, but it's not a lot of movement. But 10,000 steps and jumping in this challenge might be overkill. That's literally, 5x your where you're at right now. That might be too much. You might just go up to 3,000 and see benefits. And then after a little bit, your body adapts, you get used to it, you feel good, you go up to 4,000, then 5,000. But you can't be sedentary and expect to lose fat. All right. It's not human nature. All right. And then you cannot be malnourished. All right. If you are not getting the vitamins and minerals and the macronutrients or the micronutrients, your body's going to be in a stress state. So if you are malnourished, what you can do is you go get blood work done. It's a very simple test. You can go get tested for all your vitamins and minerals and hormones and see where you're at. Not hormones, sorry. Vitamins and minerals, see where you're at. See where you're deficient in, where you're not getting enough. And then you go add that food that's high in it. Keep it very simple. You don't need to take a bunch of supplements to get that done. But as you guys can see, all these things lead to fat loss. All right. I put this image. I thought that was kind of clever, right? So what is your weak link? Now, the whole purpose of this training is to simplify everything. So if I said one of these things, I want you to hone in and be like, I could fix that. And now for the next month, go fix that. All right. So simplify it. Don't look at all these things. These are habits and behaviors that you could build up over the next 6 months to a year. So the secret to all of this is probably picking one and then be extremely consistent with it. Make it a non-negotiable, something that you would never see yourself not adhering to, not doing. Okay. Because we can't just do all these things randomly, right? Like if I exercise once a month and then I do 5 times in a week or whatever, and it's all over the place, your body is going to be in a stress state. If I'm drinking a gallon of water on Monday and then I don't drink any water till Thursday, again, highs and lows do not give your body that stress relief. All right. What your body does, what you do consistently is what leads to the result that you get. All right. So you can't just be randomly, hitting a protein goal and then not hitting a protein goal, or, like that's also going to affect your digestion. If you do not eat a lot of fiber right now, and then you go and eat 30 grams of fiber, tomorrow might be a little bit difficult for you. Okay. So like if you have these big swings, you're pretty much putting in your body into like, what's next kind of situation. And your body's not a great thing at guessing. It's a great thing at responding to what you do. So it responds based off the demand. So if you're consistently giving it the signals that we talked about on the last slide, consistently over time, that's when your body's going to feel its best, right? The same thing as like I awkwardly like the one time that you do feel really good. If you've ever been like hungover or you went out and you ate a bunch of shit, you feel terrible, sorry for cussing, and then you go get one of like those IVs, and you go get put an IV in there with like the vitamin B12 and all those things, you can instantly feel better, right? Like that's a very powerful thing. Like there's a bad situation and then there's a fix. Other than that, there's not a lot of situations in life where you will go to the extremes randomly and feel better. All right. So that's like a one-off situation. So special. We need to get okay. So I really want to make this clear. I want this to be looked at as foundations. We are building these foundations. And then I took the first slide and I narrowed it down to four. So now our goal is to simplify this. What one of these are we doing really well? Which one of these are we doing? Could we do a little bit better? Which one is like so outside of our realm we can't even look at it right now? So are we sleeping enough? Are we drinking enough water? Are we eating enough foods that serve you most? And are you exercising to feel your best? Pick one of those now and make that your foundation. I did not put these in a random order. These are the order of importance that I feel moves the needle the most as far as recovery and fat loss. If you never sleep, it's very hard to lose fat. Be honest with you. If you are dehydrated all the time, it's very hard to, one, digestion, but two, well, especially with a protein goal. Anywho, if you're dehydrated all the time, you're going to be in a more stressed state. It's just not going to set your cells up at a physiological level to do their jobs most efficiently. Okay. And then are you eating enough of the foods that serve you most? So a lot of people, I don't know, if you guys want to put in the chat, tell me some foods that you eat that you know don't make you feel better, but you continue to eat them. All right, if you don't want to call yourself out, I'll do it. I love like cheese. I like pizza. I like donuts. I like nachos. I love, oh my God, there's so many things that come to mind. Let's see what you guys got in the chat. Cookie pizza. Oh my gosh, everybody's loving the pizza. So yeah, yeah, I love those things. So now I also know that those foods don't serve me 100% of the time. I feel worse after. I know this by my bowel movements. I know this by like gas I have afterwards. I know this because I feel like more bloated. I know this because my sleep that night might not be very good. Right? Like all these are signs that I've noticed over time when I do like indulge in some of these things. Ice cream for me. We went dairy free because my son has a dairy allergy. So my wife is dairy free. I naturally went dairy free to support her. And when I reintroduced it, it like didn't agree with me anymore. So like all the damage is in the dosage. And then when I have ice cream, it just is not great. But there's also a lot of foods that like when I do eat, I feel really good. Like when I'm eating like just like chicken, rice, vegetables, like lean proteins like fish, broccoli, like so many like different salads. I feel like the foods that you eat where after the fact, like an hour later, you could go exercise and not I'm sorry for being so vulgar. I'm like for a new group, but not poop your pants. And then I think those are really good foods that you should eat probably more often. So for me, I used to be able to like have an iron stomach. And I'd be like, I could go work out after everything. Well, I would like test that. I would go like to China buffet and then I go work out. And that was not a great pre-workout meal. Right. So those are foods that like, all right, they're fine to have, but I shouldn't have them all the time. Right. That should always just make sense. So like if, cookies. Cookies are a great source of like carbs and fats, typically more fat than carbs. So for everybody that's afraid of carbs and is eating cookies and you blame it on the carbs, it's probably more fat in there than anything. Side note, sorry, side tangent. I apologize again. But one cookie might be fine. Two cookies might be fine. Three cookies might be pushing it. Four cookies might actually make you feel worse. So one thing that I always kind of, this is newer for me, but I love is the 4 bite rule. Has anybody ever heard of the 4 bite rule? Whatever you have, any dessert, any cookie, any like donut, have 4 bites. Like you only need four. And I know that sounds crazy, but first one, I want you to actually just not mindlessly eat it. Like I never want you to mindlessly throw an Oreo in your mouth ever again, or mindlessly like take a bite of a crumble cookie. Everybody here familiar with crumble cookies? They're just like undercooked, amazing little bites of heaven. I swear, like the snickerdoodle one, like chef's kiss. But like a whole cookie is 700 calories. For a lot of people, that is like what you've been recommended. That's half your calories in a day for one cookie. If you have a bite, that first bite's amazing. Like I can just think about it right now. Like fireworks are going off in my head. Like, oh my God, it's so good. Second bite, it's good. Don't get me wrong. I'm closer to the center of the cookie. It's a good bite, but it's not as good as that first. And you're still conscious of it. And then that third bite, all right, yeah, it's like the same. It's good. Definitely not the fireworks anymore. Now it's just like it's a good bite. And then the fourth bite, it's like, all right, like I have everything that I need from this right now. And then think about it, meditate on it, like be present in that moment for a second and just be like, all right, cool, 4 bites, I'm good. If you do that one time, you guys can see a whole new side of success. And then the last one, exercise to move and to feel your best. So simplifying again, we're picking one from these. Building these into foundational movements. Oh, this is a definition of foundations, by the way. That's why I put that there. But it's the base groundwork of anything. So if you want to have a healthy life and a healthy lifestyle, foundations are your basis of groundwork that you're putting. So if your basis of groundwork are sleeping enough, drinking enough water, eating enough foods that serve you, and then exercising to feel good, that could be your 4 pillars that support your life that you're building your new body on. Right? If one of those was missing and was not a foundational piece, or if it was just like a thought for a little bit and you focused on it for a little bit, but it never became that foundational piece, that could be why you're crumbling today. That could be why you're struggling. That could be why, diets don't work for you as much anymore. All those different things. And then I need to simplify it even further. All those things are great. Everything that I've said, I truly believe. You need to trust yourself. So once you got those locked down, once those non-negotiables have shown up in your life day in and day out for months on end, maybe even years, you need to trust yourself that no matter what happens, this is still going to happen. It becomes who you are. You identify as this person. So I talked about this in our one-on-one group this morning, or this afternoon, actually, because it didn't load. Anyway, there's this level of certainty that you need to have in yourself. And I feel most people don't have this until this like aha moment. And when you have this happen to you, it's magic. Everything works out in your favor for the rest of your life. I swear to God, it is a beautiful thing. And it's a moment that you have resolve. Okay. So on a level of certainty, you have uncertain, then you have resolve, and then you have over certainty. Uncertain is not good. Hey, Ryan, are you going to drink your water today? Well, I don't know. Hope so. Like, hey, Ryan, are you going to exercise today? I don't know. Maybe like I got a lot of things going on. I got the kids I got to drop off. I got to like do this for work, whatever. I don't know. Well, then you have your over certainty. Ryan, you're going to work out today? Yeah, I think I have time between 10 and 11. If things like line up really good, I'm going to get to the gym. I'm going to drive there. I got this workout split. You start like over explaining yourself. And you're actually like the person I'm talking to is actually losing certainty in what I'm going to do and who I am. It's like the Pinocchio effect. Compared to resolve, right in the middle, the sweet spot. Hey, Ryan, you going to work out today? Yep. That's what I do. Ryan, you going to hit your water today? Yeah. Got my gallon filled up. Going to drink it before I go to bed tonight. I want you to think of like for you guys, I said this today. Hey, do you know how to tie your shoe? Your answer is like, yeah, of course. I know how to tie my shoe. You don't go over explaining. You don't go under, like you're not certain that you don't know how to tie your shoe. Like you have resolve. So when you have resolve with your foundations, that is a sweet spot. That is a moneymaker. And if to like put this point home, is because most of the people here at some point have been to a doctor's appointment. Okay. So imagine if you go to a doctor looking for a diagnosis and the doctor comes back and they're like, I don't know what's wrong with you. That's not good, right? Like you come in the room and I'm like, I got this sick, I got this cold, I got this one thing. They're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what test we should even run for. You sound really messed up. That would scare you. Should run the other way. But what if the doctor goes to the other like side of the spectrum of like, oh, you could have this. Turns out, and then you could like all these different things of what it could be. And he starts over explaining everything. And he's just like, oh my gosh, like now you're afraid. You're in this like over certain, like, I got cancer. You went to the extreme when I thought I just came in for a little tickle in my throat. Right. So compared to like, all right, you go to a doctor, he's like, This looks very familiar to me. We're going to run test XYZ and figure out exactly what we have. After we do that, you're either going to be on like these antibiotics, you're going to be doing this, like, and then he has resolve of like, this is what I believe it to be. This is what we're going to do. It's this. And then you have confidence in that doctor, right? Now you need to have that for yourself. So trust by building consistency, integrity, and ironically, the name of the company, commitment, sincerity, and reliability. So it's this always building process. The thing that's the worst about trust is it takes a long time to build and it takes a moment to break. Really cool about trust in yourself. It could be broken and you could rebuild it in an instant. It's not like trust with other people because you're in control of yourself. So like, oh, I trust myself to hit my macros, to exercise. Oh man, like today was just hard. I couldn't get my workout in. I tried. I just couldn't do it. Cool. Can you do it tomorrow? No, I don't know if I can. Okay, well, you could take 2 days off. That's fair. All right, 3 days. Well, start to like look in the mirror. Like 72 hours are passing, and you haven't been able to find 20 minutes to go get your workout in. Now I'm a little concerned. Like, what's going on? Are you running a country right now? What's going on? Like, are you that tired and exhausted that you can't do it? Because I've been like, you can go work out and be tired. You can drag yourself to the fridge at night and make a cookie or drag yourself to crumble cookie. You can drag yourself through a workout. Let's just like lock in on that. Awesome. And then how? How do you build that confidence in yourself again? You gotta do it when it's hard. Do it when you're busy, when you have so much going on that you can imagine adding another thing to your plate. Because if you have the slightest bit of success, if you show up for a workout when the cards are stacked against you, if you hit your macros when you're on a work trip or traveling, or you have a long shift, or you have daycare duties or whatever, if you do it one time, you prove to yourself that you can be resourceful, you can figure it out. Now you just keep building that over and over and over again so that no matter what the situation is around you, you can still show up for yourself. So I don't want to give you information. I talk a lot. I apologize. I have a lot of thoughts going on in this head that I'm trying to get out to you guys tonight. But what I want you to take away is I want you to dominate just one of these: water, protein, fiber, sleep, self care. All right. I've actually thrown that self care on this one. You guys should do it. We were talking about actually before we started about being selfish. You should be more selfish and take care of yourself. It's not selfish to take care of yourself. Putting on your oxygen mask first, so you better serve other people. I'm not going to go into that too much right now, but dominating just one of these. So if you guys can drop in the chat, that'd be great. What are you guys going to focus in? Because I don't want this to be another webinar that you sat in on and you're like, man, that was great. I'm all jacked up right now, but now what? I'm excited. Like Ryan, oh, he hit home on so many things for me. And I'm excited. Tomorrow I'm going to hit my macros. I'm going to get my workout in. I'm going to go drink my gallon of water. I'm going to go to bed at 9 o'clock. And then one thing doesn't happen. So it's like, screw it. I'm not going to do any of it. Because I've been there before too. I sat in on lots of those kinds of trainings where I'm jacked up. And then the next day when reality hits and reality sets home, I don't do anything. So put in the chat of these 5 things. What are you guys going to focus on the most? And then I'm going to stop the training and then, or stop the recording, and then you guys can have the floor. So thank you guys for coming. See you. All right. And stop recording.